I knew you were going to do that.
A pursuit, a crash, and then you heard that laugh. 19 investigates with new video of a local police officer laughing, then leaving the scene of an accident. And where he headed to next will have you shaking your head. That commander under criminal investigation. We've confirmed he's also off the force for good. But the East Cleveland Police Department tells us that is just a coincidence. Brian Duffy now with the
A lot going on here. This is a tangled web for sure. Larry McDonald, now a former East Cleveland cop. The police department told us he resigned Tuesday afternoon, about an hour before his criminal charges were announced. But he had not resigned. East Cleveland PD says McDonald faced being fired. McDonald was just indicted for what happened after a short pursuit back on March 12th. 19 investigates got a copy of his body camera footage. It shows McDonald stopping a white Jeep, but as he approaches the SUV, the driver takes off down Ivanhoe. McDonald hopped in his cruiser, chased after the Jeep across the border into Cleveland. Less than 30 seconds later, the Jeep crashes near East 152nd and St. Clair, taking out a fire hydrant and destroying an RTA bus shelter. But get this, prosecutors say McDonald didn't stop to check on the driver. Instead, you can hear him on video laughing and driving away after the crash. Take a listen.
I knew you were going to do that.
It all started out from a freaky jail. If that's what sells, I'm a stick.
After McDonald leaves the crash scene, he cranks up his radio, drives back into East Cleveland, where he then goes to a bar. Keep in mind, he's still on duty. The video shows McDonald go inside the Sportsman Lounge at the corner of Ivanhoe and Euclid. He chats with some women in the parking lot, then lets them into his cruiser, where they talk some more. The conversation sexually explicit at times. Then, about 20 minutes after the crash, a supervisor over the phone questions McDonald about the pursuit.
I'm about to call him right now. You don't got his number?
So,
Yeah, brother.
you wasn't behind no car on Ivanhoe, was you?
Yeah. Why? What happened?
They crashed at St. Clair.
Nah, I wasn't behind. I turned around.
Okay, because the passerby said that the car almost ran him off the road, watched him crash, and turned around. He was called over here.
No, I wasn't in pursuit of that car.
Both McDonald and the supervisor, Sergeant Anthony Holmes, have been indicted on charges in connection with the covering up the crash. McDonald also charged for failing to stop after the accident. As it turns out, this isn't the first time an East Cleveland officer left the scene after a crash. 19 Investigates has exclusive video of a similar incident that was caught on camera where people were critically injured and the officer just drove off. We'll show you that never-before-seen video coming up on 19 News at 6.
The 19 First Alert.